Good morning, viewers. This is Matthew of Bangalore Reports, a web and print based media committed to bringing you value based news and features. I am now privileged to be at the well maintained flat of Dr. H.T.Sangliana, the former Commissioner of Police, Bangalore, Director General of Police, Karnataka, Member of Parliament of the Lok Sabha, and Vice Chairperson of the National Minorities Commission. Sir has served the people of India and more especially the people of Karnataka with a single minded commitment. He is one of the greatest police officers the country has ever possibly produced. He has received accolades from within the country and outside. Well, I am not going to give you all the details about Dr. Sangliana. Instead, let us hear it of his very illustrious career from the living legend himself. Sir, as a prominent police officer, you were known for your honesty, courage, and upright nature. You were fearless when it came to upholding the law. You became a household name. People could trust you because you championed the cause and you were people's sensitive. People talked to you about you with pride. To most of you, you were a hero. So I'd like to ask you the first question. Who or what is your inspiration?
Well, thank you for the kind tributes given to me. And in fact, I joined the police service without any desire to be a cop ever at the time of my joining. But this was my destiny that I continued to be in police service. And I retired after 36 long years of dedicated service. And as such, the inspiration which I got later on was indeed from God Himself. Because I felt that it was God who decided that I should continue to be in police service, which I did, with no regrets whatsoever. I came to Karnataka in 1968, November, to join the state police service here under the IPS cadre system. And when I started my career here in the state of Karnataka, in the beginning, I had, in fact, very embarrassing situations here and there. One of them, well, I may not call it embarrassing, but interesting in the sense, being from the Northeast, my look is different from the look of people in South India. And when children saw me in the villages when I would be with my officers doing investigation, they'll boo me and say, "Hi, chi chi choo choo." Then they might have thought that I was from China or Japan or somewhere. And I knew that those were children after all, and they did not have enough of information about India itself, where we have mainly three main races, Dravidians, Aryans, and Mongoloids. So I said to myself, well, let them call me anything, doesn't matter. One day they'll come to know that I am one of them. I am a Kannadiga, sort of. So that way, the language was again a big problem. Kannada has a lot of Sanskrit words, whereas my mother tongue doesn't have a single Sanskrit word from where I can have some idea as to what someone is talking about. So I had to learn Kannada language, and the alphabets of Kannada is such an interesting alphabet, I should say. In order to get these alphabets by heart, I had to remember Ra looking like a grape, and U looks like a snake, and Da looks like a pumpkin, kind of kind of idea I had. So I used to get by heart through their appearances, and then I had to pass the sixth standard examination conducted by the Karnataka Public Service Commission, and I had to pass reading and writing, without which no increments, no promotion. This is the rule for all the All India Services officers in the state. So with those kind of interesting period of learning the language, etc., I somehow developed liking for the people of Karnataka, so much so that I decided to let my children study in Kannada schools in wherever I was posted in districts. And I was happy to see them singing Kannada songs and telling Kannada stories, which were all told to them or taught to them by my orderlies. And in the beginning, that kind of consciousness I had, that I should identify myself with the people here so that they will be helpful and I'll be able to do satisfactory work for them. And so slowly I started mixing up with people, and they too came closer to me. And how many well-wishers I have today in Karnataka, I cannot count. God has blessed me so much that most of the Kannadigas in the state here today know at least my humble name, Sangliana, which incidentally has also been taken by 4 Karnataka people for their name. And so there are, including me, 5 Sanglianas in Karnataka. And that way, I found the people of Karnataka to be absolutely hospitable, friendly, kind, and excellent friends. And so I never felt homesick throughout my service in Karnataka. And there were times when I had not taken my family back to my native place for 5 years. And my people will scold me and say, "What is this? You never came to a hometown also for your children to know who we are, your relatives, etc." I just smile away and I said, "Okay, next time I'll come more often." So this kind of initial interaction I had with the people of Karnataka. And when it came to my profession, police service, my main concern right from the beginning was reformation of the society. Whenever I caught gamblers, for example, or prostitutes, or pimps, or reckless drivers, etc., I'll subject them to a kind of lecture through the advocates and also through social workers. And I'll tell them, "Look, what you're doing is wrong. By doing gambling, you're squandering the hard-earned money, which is supposed to be used for your family. And as a gambler, you will certainly have a tendency to take liquor and all that. And so better you stop this. This time I'll give you this warning. If you don't stop, I'll tell all these advocates not to come and bail you out from the police or from the judiciary." So this kind of lecture I used to give to prostitutes, and I'll tell them, "Look, you'll have venereal diseases. Better you stop doing this." And also I'll give warning to the pimps who will be organizing this flesh trade. And also I'll give lecture to the reckless drivers who have killed the family breadwinner of certain people. And that way I had this kind of social reformation attitude in me, that I wanted to see that crime in society is checked to the extent possible. And so that way, wherever I work, I wanted to do my best. I wanted to serve the society with the best ability I had. So I spent my prime time, my prime life, my strength, and my entire ability for serving the people of Karnataka by controlling rowdy elements, by controlling criminals, and by chasing smugglers and confronting with rowdies. In fact, I am not ashamed to say that. And even if anybody would like to go and take me up in the court tomorrow for saying this, I'm ready. I had handled rowdies wherever I had worked in the districts as SPs, Superior Police, in a befitting manner. I used to say that rowdies don't understand any other language except rowdyism. So I used to do a bit of rowdyism on the bad characters and all these rowdies, because of which they were afraid of me. I used to tell my officers, all these rowdies, don't spare them. Don't give them any leniency. Beat them up nicely in the police stations. But don't break bonds and don't set a drop of blood from anybody. If you do that, and because of your careless handling of criminals in the police station, if somebody has to die because of your carelessness, I'll not be with you. Any other thing, I'll be with you, but not careless handling of rowdies. So all those rowdies everywhere, they knew that I was one who used to be tough with them. So most of them used to do low-lying kind of hiding, etc. whenever I would be in a particular station. But when I would have left that particular place on transfer, things would go back to the all same rowdyism kind of situation, which I used to feel so sad. I used to say, why not my successors also take up the same approach and control law and order situation in a befitting manner, so that peace will prevail, so that in peaceful situation, industry will progress, agriculture will progress, all kinds of progress will take place. Students will be able to go to school and come back safely. Girls can go to their workplace any time of the night or day without any fear. And so there is need to maintain law and order everywhere for development to take place.
Yes.
This is my understanding of police responsibility right from the beginning. And I used to tell myself that, yes, this is my responsibility of the law and order situation of a district. If I cannot handle the situation, if I cannot handle a law and order situation in a particular district or area of responsibility, I used to tell myself, I'll be unfit to be a police officer. So I used to tell my officers, it is your responsibility to maintain law and order so that everything else will go on smoothly.
Yes.
But if we don't handle law and order and all these rowdies, they do what they do, namely harassing the society, extracting so-called protection money, and creating all kinds of problems for society and in society. So that kind of approach I had right from the beginning. For good maintenance of law and order, what is important is that police officers have to be available and accessible, so that victims of lawlessness, victims of rowdyism, victims of crime will come and interact with the police officers, and then police will take action against such elements, and then life will proceed without any disturbance in society. So I have been telling my officers, be accessible and available 24 hours, because Police Act 1861, it's an all act, says that police are on duty all the time, meaning supposed to be on duty 24 hours. So I used to tell myself, yes, I am on duty 24 hours. Even if I receive a call from somebody who is under duress, under difficulty, even at midnight or after midnight, it is my duty, it is my obligation to act on such information or to help the caller on the phone. So that way, I used to tell my officers, be available all the time, 24 hours, and for that, I put my telephone next to my pillow, always. And in my absence, when I go on tour, I'll tell my wife, have the phone next to your pillow. When a call comes, pick up immediately, without allowing the phone to ring more than 2 times. That is my habit. Even now, if you call me, though I have retired and I have become not an old man, but senior citizen. I don't want to call myself as old as yet. So even now, I don't allow my phone to ring more than twice if I am nearby. If I happen to be in bathroom, that's a different matter. Victims of crimes cannot wait for you to first finish your bath, to finish your breakfast, and to finish your private matters before you make yourself available to them. No, you have to be available, if you're a police officer, to them. And if you don't want yourself to be disturbed, or if you don't want to make available yourself for people to come and take your help, you're not a fit man to be in police. You better quit. Do something else. This is what I used to tell my officers. And in order to ensure that policemen are alert all the time, I used to visit police stations at midnight, after midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, early in the morning, to know whether the police station at the mafashil areas, that is in village sites also, are awake or are alert. So I used to visit by surprise when a constable or somebody who head constable who would be on duty will be dozing off, and all the doors open and the rifles and all fully exposed for picking, or even police files are all accessible. So these kind of situations I used to notice in police stations, that if anybody would like to go and steal guns and files from police station, it would be very easy. Even right now, I think if you would like to try, you can steal a few rifles, a few files, I'm afraid. If you go quietly to the rural police station, or even here in the city police station, I don't know to what extent our men are alert. So that was the kind of approach I used to do. I used to take home a couple of rifles and some files, and the next morning the police officers, either inspector or sub-inspector or DSP of the area, I'll call for the explanation. So for that, when I was police commissioner here in Bangalore city, I said to myself, now that we are supposed to be on duty for 24 hours, why not all these sentries in the police station beat a gong, a police bell, every hour and every half an hour, so that they'll have no time to doze off, and they'll be alert and be receptive to every visitor to the police station at any hour of the day or night. So I got donation from members of the public, And that way, a lot of such gongs or bells, brass bells were donated. In fact, this was liked by the BBC, and they called me up over the phone and asked me to tell about the story of my police bell. So I sounded that bell that day when the BBC had recorded and replayed later on in their program. Now I thought constables have to be alert at the police station level, and they should be the people who will contact the officers immediately to situations or incidents that might be taking place in his time of duty, so that there'll be no delay and there'll be no chance for law and order to break down, etc. And also I said this police bell will help citizens to know at what time an explosion has taken place, for example. They'll say, before the explosion, the sound of the explosion, I heard the police bell to be 3 o'clock. So time of incident must be at 3 o'clock. Then also I said those coolies and all who don't have watch will be depending on the police time. And in the neighborhood, everybody will be depending on police time. So that police will be very helpful, and their bell will be a kind of timekeeper kind of service to the people. So this is all intended for making police officers available, accessible to the people, and that's how I used to handle police problems everywhere I was posted.
Sir, you have been now a few years after your retirement. I'm sure you definitely miss the police force.
I do miss at times. When I see on the road wrong things happening concerning traffic regulation, I used to feel bad. I used to feel like getting down and scolding or pulling up the traffic constable. And many times I have been seeing these traffic constables, head constables and sub-inspectors also, holding up two-wheelers and booking petty cases against them without bothering about the regulation of traffic on roads and at junctions. And also, I have been seeing many places without traffic regulation whatsoever. So I used to feel like getting down and controlling the traffic again as I used to do before. So this kind of things have been irritating me. And also, many times I'll ring the police control room, 100, but response will be recorded response. Why should there be recorded response in a police control room? It should be handled by people on duty in that particular control room, and their voice should come on the phone and say, "This is police control room, can I help you?" kind of. But most of the time, this police control room will be so-called engaged. And this I used to point out, and I never allowed such things to happen when I was police commissioner. And I went to the extent of giving surprise visit to the control room, so that these constables or others, inspector, even ACP, Assistant Commissioner of Police, is also in charge of police control room here in Bangalore. So like that, even here in Kormangla, where I'm staying, traffic problems and a few other things, I have brought it to the notice of the concerned officers, even at the level of DCPs, but nothing has been done. And so when people need police help, not only for themselves but for society at large. And when police don't make themselves available or when they don't attend to such need, I thought this is very unfair. This is a very questionable kind of attitude. As I said earlier, those are the police officers, right from constables to DGP, if they don't want to make themselves available and accessible, let them go home. Let them do proper police job.
Yes.
And those people who are interested in doing good police job, let them come. Let them be civilians also.
Right.
We'll make use of them. So this is my very strong view about the action and inaction of the police officers. Unfortunately, these days again, I've seen police officers right from DGP and commissioner most of the time wearing civil dress, not uniform. Police uniform is given free of cost, and the government is spending money for buying police uniform. And when police uniform is put on, they have an impact
Yes.
on society. That here is a police officer, here is a police constable, head constable, whatever rank it is, available for us to give us protection. Why not we approach him, why not we approach her, whatever. But this kind of things are not happening. So if police officers are becoming like clerical staff wearing civil dress most of the time, they don't have sufficient impact on criminals. So I used to say, this is not correct. Our senior officers are not setting example to their juniors about the importance of wearing uniform while on duty. Of course, in the afternoon, we relax. Afternoon time, sometimes we allow them to come on civil dress. But most of the time, when I was police officer, I used to wear it even on Sundays. And there was a time when I was asked to attend one church service at night. I attended that with my uniform, full uniform on. And when I was about to finish my talk, there was a control room emergency call, and I had to rush out asking for excuse. Well, I did that because people have some kind of respect to uniform, and when police officers wear such uniforms, they fulfill the expectation of the society. Why not? So, people used to ask me, what is the secret of your success in police service? I said it's very simple. Accessibility and availability. If you know your accountability, your responsibility, your duty, you'll always be available and accessible. But if you don't want to know your duty, and if you purposely try to avoid it, well, you can do that very easily. Nobody will question you. That's what my approach used to be.
What was the single most important case in your career?
Well, you're asking me the most, though I had so many interesting cases. I think I'll pick one case which happened years ago at Sagara police station. I was the assistant SP of Sagara subdivision. I used to raid gambling dens, and I used to catch smugglers, I used to catch rowdies and whatnot. And One day, in the afternoon, one man from a village came and met me and said, "Sir, tonight smuggling of body is going to take place. But I cannot tell you in which direction, on which road, etc. But this much I can tell you." And I said, "Okay, I'll take action." In my imagination, that smuggling I thought was going to take place somewhere towards Dharwar, in between the border of Shimoga and the border of Dharwar. And so I said, "I'll take action." And when I came home, I found my first daughter, who was just not even one, very sick, with high temperature. Then I said to myself, well, this is the condition of my child, and what shall I do with that kind of information, which I said I'll take action on. So then I was in trouble. But I said to myself, I have said to that informant, I will take action. And since I have said that, I will have to take action. I cannot postpone or go back from my commitment to him. I didn't know that villager. Where has he come from, I don't know. What is his name, I don't know. But when I said, I will take action, I said to myself, I have to take it. So time went on. It was nearing midnight. Then I said to my wife, I saw her putting handkerchief with water padding her head like this, trying to make the baby cool because of high temperature. So when I said to my wife that I am going out for important work, she said, "How can you do that? You are seeing the condition of this baby. If any worst thing happens tomorrow in your absence, what can I do? What shall I do? I don't know the language. I don't know the people. What is this you're doing?" I said, "God will be with you. Nothing will happen." I left, however. I had my 9mm pistol with 12 bullets in it. And I went down to the road. I saw one number store car parked on the roadside. I banged the door and I said that, to the driver who came out, that I wanted his car. So I sat in the car, and I had one orderly constable who was supposed to be on duty at my residence that night to help my wife in whatever way she needed help. I took away that constable also with me. And so I just said to the driver, "Go in this direction." He went. And after about 1.5 hours, we reached the border of Dharwar and Shimoga. So I stopped at a check gate. For a check gate was there. So the civilian driver was a very short fellow, and when it comes to fight, he was. So we reached that gate, and I said, "Okay, let's wait here." We waited for vehicle sound to be heard at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. No sound came. And at 4:30, I started hearing the sound of a vehicle. So I was waiting for that to come. That area was very dark, so it was drizzling also. And that was an ideal place for committing a murder, if you want to, because nobody will be there to see you committing a murder. And at 4:30, the sound of the vehicle I heard becoming louder and louder. And then one white ambassador appeared. In the headlight of the ambassador, they saw me coming and standing in the center of the road, holding my 9mm pistol towards the vehicle, shouting, "You stop, you stop, here is my gun." I said, "You stop." They did not dare to run over me, so they stopped. 6 people, including the driver, started coming out from the car. And I said, "You stay on, don't come out, you be there, otherwise I'll shoot you." So they went back. And then I came closer to the car and I snatched away the car key. And then it was a question of how to manage these 6 people. I had not brought handcuffs to handcuff them.
Yes.
I had not brought any kind of device, string or something to tie them up in the bag. Nothing. One of them was having a dupatta. So I tore into pieces. And I told that orderly fellow to tie everyone tightly in the back, the hands of everyone to tie in the back. So one by one I pushed them inside the car with instruction not to talk, not to look right and left, but just to look down and see that they don't misbehave. As soon as I finished my tying them up, a big lorry, Leyland lorry came. That was a time when smuggling of food grain was enforced in the state of Karnataka. And those people were smuggling out this food grain from Shimoga towards Kerala. So that night when I saw this Leyland lorry coming, I saw 2 muscle men also seated in the cabin. Those muscle men were to lift the bags quickly and dump it in the appointed place, and then the vehicle to disappear quickly, kind of. So those muscle man, coolie kind of people, I did the same thing which I had done to other fellows. I tied them up behind in their hands. So I put these people as they are, and the lorry, now how many? 6, 7, 8, including these 2 lorries. I mean, two coolies. 8 people plus my driver. No, my constable. So I pushed them inside and I put them in the middle, and then next to that is the lorry, and behind that I drove the car which I brought, the private car. So went to Soraba police station, Bangara Pass police station, and there I put them in a lockup and started the proceedings of arresting them and all that. So that night it was a question of 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, and myself. Here, as I told you, the civilian driver was very, very weak, and he was nothing for fight, and also the constable. But my pistol, I had. I could have killed 3 or 4 of them. If they wanted to run over me, they can do that. But they didn't have the courage to do that. From where that courage had come to me, I used to wonder. And also not bothering about my family, my personal matter, that is my family, that was in critical situation. And more concerned about my duty, that is catching smugglers, seizing their goods. So between these two, my public duty was more important than my personal matter. this is where success normally comes to anybody when they forget about themselves, but do the needful thing for the responsibility that they had taken. Uh, so, this, I think, in terms of giving priority to your duty as a public servant, in terms of leaving the matter of your family to God, many people don't leave even that matter with God, but they'll just behave in one way or the other. So, in that sense, I thought that was a very rare and risky kind of experience I had had, and so that's it.